Yeah, it's tough, but I've been doing it for so long that it's pretty much the it's just what I do, and I'm for some reason okay with it. Now, why is my webcam not working on OBS either? I know why. Because I had it. Crap. I'm gonna have to restart because YouTube. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Oh, come on, baby. There we go. Yeah. All right. All righty. Okay. So, those of you. Well, you know what? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We could do both here. I've got two cameras. One can be taken part on Discord, which is this one, and the other one can be my drum room cam. All right, sweet. But this cam's not going to be doing much because I'll be down in the live room. Okay.
I'm currently like in one of the biggest like con- conflicts or controversy ever at the moment.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, it's so big. It's actually really dramatic.
I'm so
So
sorry, dude.
here's what's happening, right? I'm making the subgenres and for the genres that will be here, and I don't know where to put lo-fi on hip hop, on electronic music.
Oh. All right
Do you
on.
know how many people would be like, lo-fi is
Oh
bad?
yeah. Oh yeah. No. That's so religious. It's crazy. Oh, excuse me.
Hope my exaggeration was
Yes,
of
yes,
the
yes, 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 of course. Alrighty. Unfortunately, Discord is not going. I'm not going to be able to share my drum cam through Discord. So,
no.
if you're interested in seeing the drum performance as like a webcam, then go on over to YouTube. It's Magic Jones Songwriting Streams. I am live over there, and but you'll be able to hear everything. Everything that you're seeing here will we can stream the audio to both places. And hey, Jay Bronny is in YouTube. Welcome, welcome. Mother Nature, how are you? Good to see you. We're going to be doing drums today, and and we're also live on Discord. So if you hear voices in the background, that is from my people on Discord.
The way you
Yes.
just changed the way you speak to get to this narration
Oh
mode.
yeah,
Like,
isn't it?
yeah, hello guys, welcome to our
Well,
podcast.
that's exactly. It's like natural now. It's crazy. It's
There's a
It's
significant
good.
delay between the YouTube
oh yeah,
stream
way
and
big.
Discord.
Way big delay. I would not
Because the
recommend
song's
listening to
going
both.
over IP,
Oh yeah,
and
well
that's going to go through the server.
YouTube. I'll bet you, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but YouTube's delay is way worse. Is that the case?
Person?
Oh yeah, I think Twitch has like a bit of a better delay, but it's still like a significant delay.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
It's whatever though. I can
All
live
right,
with it.
so let's see if we can do this and not cause my computer to explode. All right, so I've got to check the levels and make sure that I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're at negative 18 with that. Let's go to chorus. Yeah, I think we're going to be good. If there's popping, it's because my system is wanting to die. And I don't blame it. So let's see if we can do this. Okay. All right, here we go. Against all odds.
Yes, who will take the title? Shit, my mic's not muted.
Hey, Mother Nature, can you hear me? He ain't hearing anymore.
Jay Bronny, when are we hearing the new album?
It should be done like August, but I'm gonna release it in October.
Actually, I have yet to make a hip hop beat, so I have to learn how to make hip hop.
Say that again?
I have yet to make a hip hop beat.
You?
I have yet to make one.
You should. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, they're very easy, I heard. Just the actually getting the melodies and samples right. Drums get easier.
Drums get easier as you start experimenting with your DAW. Like in a month, it should come like more naturally to you. Especially if, like, for example, if you're like Magic Jones and you do live drums, like it'll just come with time. Be easier to do. I still struggle with a lot. Don't get me wrong, but oh yeah, I have Magic. I have a recording of Magic Jones doing the drums for one of my songs.
Ace.
Yeah, I'm gonna upload it around October when the album releases.
I'd love to be on your second album. I think that's a goal of mine.
I mean, I'll let you into the process for sure. I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna start making it in September, but like it's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be production, and I'm gonna go into writing. So I'm starting production first.
Gotcha. A friend who's an actual close friend of a friend, Lila.
Nice.
Gonna teach me how to make beats. I don't know how to make beats. I know how to make BM, but I don't know how to make beats.
I know how to make sample-based beats. I don't know exactly much about like live. No, not live. Original beats or anything. Like I'm pretty sure Eighth knows more about me, and he's been using FL for like lesser time, or probably around the same time. You know, we all have our different skill sets and whatnot, but you know, I still have to learn. I don't really aim to like learn, however, because I have like a bunch of other producers on the project, so there's no point.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, our audio is going stream. It's kind of funny.
Yes.
I kind of like how low my voice sounds. Like it sounds like I'm fucking bored.
Oh, my piano sounds like the speakers.
I'm gonna have to mute.
liked it. It was cool.
I'm still watching the YouTube stream. Good freaking job. First time I've ever censored myself.
Only get worse from here. Censoring is one of the biggest things you have to do.
I really like that song too. No joke.
For me to. Oh, I love hearing that song. Fun.
Look at him fixing his. Oh no.
Don't you dare look now, I think he's getting closer. It's getting in my head. Dissipation, electric all around us. Soul is filled with dread. My blood is racing, quick white knuckles bracing, anticipating the end. Well, don't you dare look now, I think he's getting closer. It's getting in my head. Dissipation, electric all around us. Soul is filled with dread. My blood is racing, quick white knuckles bracing, anticipating the end. Can't back out now, the stakes could not be higher. I might as well be dead. Know who you are, don't back down. Holy smokes. What happened up here? Hopefully we recorded it all.
Sorry?
I just said I hope we recorded it all. Yeah, well, it looks like we got it all.
Nice.
Yeah, I very rarely do a take like that where I'm satisfied with the first take when I start recording. All right, we got a few people. Ronnie G, welcome. Mother Nature, still here. Fantastic. Who else we got? Alrighty. Excellent.
I've heard that name before.
Ronnie's amazing. She's my number one fan. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. She really is. Okay, so now editing these things. Let's see.
Video one is really easy for that.
What?
Mhm.
Oh, it's editing is easy?
For at least from what I've used it for, yeah, pretty much.
Editing.
Video one.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, it is when you learn the tricks. If you have to do it by hand, it is an absolute beast. It's nuts. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. Yes. No. That's not easy at all. Yeah. Looks like everything got recorded just like it should. Fantastic. How you doing, Mother Nature? It's been a long time. Hopefully you're doing well.
Hi, Mother Nature.
Can you hear the voices? I don't even know if... Can they hear you? Do you know? I guess you wouldn't know.
Actually, I could hear myself in the stream, so yeah.
Oh, cool. Right on. I've never done this before. 2 streams at the same time.
I do have a question though. How do you process the drums? Do you like compress, EQ, add reverb? Is that like the normal process?
Yes, that is how you do it. All of the above.
So I guess that's all you would really need to do.
Well, I add quite a lot of tape saturation. I do parallel processing with the distressor. I'll definitely be doing that with these. What else do I do?
Do your audience know about like processing and audio and stuff, or
Who?
like whoever else is in the stream?
No, they don't know anything about that, but that's all right. We can totally talk about that. I'm fine. Man, Veach, you are a very considerate person. You really are. You're exactly. It's true. It's true. All right. So what I just did there is I phase corrected the snare and the snare bottom according to the overheads. I should have been explaining that while I did it. I'll show you. So we've got right here. You can see it, the apexes and the troughs, right?
Are you clipping?
No. This is the how large they are, right? And I've just got them bigger so I can see them visually better. And so down here are the overheads, and the overheads get all the drums, like all the drums in them. So it's kind of messy, but you can still see the general wavelengths of the snare drum being hit down here. And so I just take this, and it's got a nice vertical alignment, and I make sure that the apexes and the troughs align with both the with the snare bottom, and the overheads. The rooms are significantly delayed because they're like 15 feet away from the kit, so the time it takes for the sound to get to the room mics is significantly more, and they don't need to be in phase. They're not providing any impact at all. They're providing ambience, and so yeah, that's what I just did. They've got a plugin that will automatically do all of the syncing or the phase correction. But I can't afford it, so I don't buy it. Otherwise, I would. It's a really, really slick plugin. But now you can hear, I just basically took away any chance for comb effect in the snare drum, which is by far the most important drum. So... No. So the easiest way to explain it, and let's see, you guys can see me, right, on Discord? Yeah, you can. Okay, so if you've got 2 tracks, so phase issues are the worst issues that plague a drum kit, because basically you're trying to make what? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Can't hear you, bro.
10, I just going to say that we've got 10 different instruments, 10 different drums and cymbals that I've got to try to make sound like one instrument, like one cohesive kit. And when you do that with acoustic instruments, the sound, like if I hit my snare drum, it's going to hit every single mic as that wavelength is expanding and going out, and it's going to hit at different times. So if the snare mic, the close mic is right here to the snare, and the overheads are 6 feet up, there's going to be a difference in time when that wavelength hits each mic, and that. So with that in mind, if you've got two wavelengths going up and down at the same time, exactly the same time, if you've got just a sine wave, then if you double them on top of each other, they're just going to make that louder. I mean, it just mathematically compounds the volume. So if you phase invert one of them so that it goes like this, you will get silence. If you phase invert one of the sine waves on one of the tracks so they're exactly opposite, the sound will cancel themselves out completely. With go on, yeah.
Like audio oscillation works in like +1, 0, and then -1, meaning that like when your speakers are moving forward and backwards,
Yep.
it's going forward by 1 centimeter and it's going back to its original position and going back by 1 centimeter. It's not really a centimeter. I'm just using
right. Yeah,
example.
Yeah.
And so when you have one going up and the other one also going up, you get a 2, which means that the signal is louder. But when it goes to +1 and then -1, you get a 0, which is a silence.
That is exactly right. Very, very well illustrated, Veach. And so
destructive interference.
Yes. Yeah, and drums are plagued with that, because there's no telling where in the wavelength that snare drum is when it hits the overheads as opposed to the snare close mic. And so if comb effects are basically when the two wavelengths are not exactly out of phase, but they're not exactly in phase. And so some of it is subtractive. And what you get there is a hollow sound from whatever the sound source is. And that is not what we want with hard rock drums. You want them to sound as impactful and as full-sounding, full-bodied as you possibly can, so you want to make sure that all of the phases of all the drums, or at least in my case, just the snare, so that you get as much of that body as you possibly can.
You want constructive interference.
Yes. You want all of those wavelengths to compound on each other so that snare sounds as full as it can. And so that's what I just did. I usually don't do it to the toms because I like the way they sound with comb filtering. And there are people who might crucify me for even saying that, but I'm okay with the way the toms sound. Don't you dare look now, I think.
Obviously, there's bleed in every track.
Oh, there's tons of bleed. Okay, so
I'm gonna crucify you for that, bro. You're the one who nailed it, though. That sounded pretty good.
Thank you. Yeah. It does. They I don't know what it is. When I do phase correct the toms, they sound a little bit too full bodied, and I end up just turning them down. And so I just usually choose to not do that.
Keep a constant BPM without barely messing up.
Sure. Thank you. That is decades of experience. I started drumming when I was 14, and for all of you musicians who are listening to this who say, I don't want to use a click, I don't want to use a metronome because it messes me up, it restricts me from my flow. All I've got to say is if you're creating anything that requires a steady beat and you're not using a click, you're causing a whole lot of stress for everybody else in the band. You really are. And
Cool.
You at least need some sort of click. Even if you don't want to use a metronome, that's fine. Use a hi-hat pattern that is going consistently.
Yes. Or a recording of the music. Like if you've got the resources, you can actually be listening to a scratch track of the song being recorded to a click track. then you've got everything going on in your head and you're just playing along with yourself. It's just that you need something that is steady, that is correct, and that is why I can play as steady as I do. I'm definitely not perfect, and we'll see how not perfect I am here when we get into the time correction. It's embarrassing. It's
Oh my god, you were 6 samples off from the.
right. I wish. Oh, I wish. So yeah. All I'm saying is the click is my best friend. When it's not in my ear, it's a little nerve wracking. The pendulum has swung a little bit too far for me. I need to like wean myself. When I'm on stage and I don't have a click, I've got to really just be confident in my internal clock, because I rely on that click like it is law. So these drums are already mixed because I did a scratch drum track before and mixed them. And there's with acoustic drums, the way that I've got them set up, and there are so many different ways to do live drums. So you can see I've got a kick, track, snare bottom, rack 1, rack 2, and floor. These are the toms, the floating drums. And then I've got my overheads bust into overhead 1 and overhead 2. That's left and right. They're in a coincident pattern, A-B. They're exactly 90 degrees off. And my rooms are just the gunslingers of the group. They're just placed out, and their only job is to record the room. So the way I group them is I've got my drums, which are just the actual drums, the kick, the snare, and the snare has a mic on the top and a mic on the bottom, and then my racks have mics on just the top, 1, 2, and 3. This is Tom 1, Tom 2, and Tom 3. And then I don't group any of those. Sometimes if I want to get really surgical, I'll group the toms, but I don't think I'm going to do that in this song. But then, go on, sorry.
You have 2 things for the snare, like you have the snare and then the snare bottom. It's
Yeah.
pretty similar to like a guitar recording, where you're recording like towards the stringy part, like the trebly bit near the bridge.
Yeah.
Or towards the center, where you get that really kind of like
that meat.
deeper sound.
Here, let me show you the difference. It's remarkable. The snare bottom is only for chains. For those who aren't informed, the snare is a normal drum, but on the bottom head there's actual chain. I've got 20 chains that are just crossed across that snap, and they're metal, and that provides what the signature of what the snare sounds like. And this is what the chains sound like. Those are the chains on the bottom. This is the top. So combine the two, and you get a thwap. Hold on a minute. Crap. You know what? That was good enough. I've got to boost my internet here. Just a minute.
Well, adding that kind of snare bottom, you've kind of ended up with this like nice trebly frequency put in there, which makes it have a nice fuller sound. It's absolutely fantastic. And you have this for like other instruments as well, like a guitar, for example. Like I was mentioning earlier on, it has 2 different parts in it. So if you were to look at like the different parts of a guitar, if I was to play this, wow, it's out of tune, you'd get that sound, but then you get that kind of part, and you get the. You hear the difference between the 2 sounds. So we combine them to get something like this really nice full snare.
Yes, Veach, you're awesome. That's exactly right. So yeah, you get this full snare. I ran into my router room, and so we've got that. And then somebody mentioned the bleed. If you listen to my snare, there's not that much bleed. And that is because the slate. Yeah, it is a gate built specifically for drums, and I'll show it to you. It is voodoo like magic. This right here. So without it, you turn it off, and oh wait, we got to get an actor. There we go. Hear all that bleed. You turn it on. It's amazing. So the thing about that I don't understand is it's got this de-bleed thing where this plugin can detect the resonance of whatever is going into it and hold on to that for the decay and reject everything else. Usually gates will just chop, right? They're either on or they're off. And with drums, that can get a little bit messy because you want some of the resonance, you want some of the ring of the natural, the snare in this case, but you don't want all of the bleed of the cymbals and the kick and the toms.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this does, and I have no idea how it does it. It's magic. It's my magic plugin. I use it all over my drums. So I don't do it on the snare bottom because I want the snare when I hit the kick drum, the snares rattle on the bottom of the snare, and I love that sound. It kind of adds a little bit of punch to the kick. It adds a little bit of top end to the kick, and they're perfectly in sync because it only happens when that batter just smacks the drum. You can hear it too. So this is the kick. And then with the snare bleed. So anyway, that is let's see. I don't know how detailed you want. So for this one, I've got an EQ on the kick. I'm kind of a minimalist with my mixes because I want them to sound natural. I want my instruments to sound like my instruments, generally speaking. So I do, on my kick, I carve out, in this case, what is it, 400, about 460 hertz. Pretty good, pretty sharp, like 7 decibel reduction. And then I've got the virtual mix rack, which this is another EQ where I don't even know what this does. It's a preset that sounds good. So it looks like it's giving a 3 decibel reduction at the ultra high frequency. And then I don't even know what that's set to. I usually don't use this EQ. 3.44 hertz. There's a huge boost, which is the click of the kick. And then we're reducing, nothing there, and increasing 80 and nothing else down here. Then we've got a compressor. The 401 is a very analog sounding compressor, and I'm not sure if it's doing much or not. I really don't spend a whole lot of time doing my my individual, like, I used to go and EQ and granularly get the sound that I wanted from my drums. But now I fly through it and I think, does that sound how I want it to sound? Yes, good enough. On to the next, because I've got to do this to every single instrument, and my goal is to have a new song written, produced, and up to YouTube every 2 weeks, and so working at that speed doesn't leave me a whole lot of fine tuning, but it sounds good. I mean, I think my mixes sound good. I've had enough people tell me that they sound really good for me to believe it.
You do.
So thank you. So there's a compressor, and then there's been a lot of debate on do you EQ before or after compression, and the defaults for slates. This one I'm using Punchy Rock Kick. Almost in all cases, he EQs both before and after compression. He does both, and I started thinking and analyzing what he's doing, and he's absolutely right because you've got a different sound after compression that you can EQ. And that's what he does. And this revival is just magic, too. This adds like a shimmery silkenness to anything. It's amazing. And thickness is like presence in the low end without being boomy. Unless you've got a boomy source, and then it just increases the boominess. But that's my kick. Snare is really just, I've got just looks like I might have changed something. Oh, yeah, I added the gate to this. Otherwise, it's pretty similar to the kick, and that's really yeah.
That's summed it up.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty, and it sounds good. I mean, I'm okay with how that sounds. Rack tom, I don't even know what they're doing. I just throw it on there and forget about it. This is the rack for the tom EQ. Looks like they've got the SSL emulator before and the revival before the compressor. I don't even know how much they compress that. Let's see. Hold on. So. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's not even hitting the compressor. Barely. I mean, it barely twitches once in a while. But this.
Oh my gosh, VU meters. It's been a while.
Oh yeah, I love them.
We're at DBFS now, but this is DBMS.
Right.
Like to the milliwatt or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what this what that is actually measuring. I've never bothered to see.
I
But
think it measures a signal up to 1 milliwatt relative to that.
I think you're right.
So if it's all the way full, that's like 1 milliwatt.
Yep, it goes up to 3 for that one, and they're all different. They are all different, but this compressor is very colored. It's not a transparent compressor at all. It adds a lot of analogness to it. Yeah. Yes. And my overheads, the only thing that I'm doing to my overheads is adding tape saturation. With the 37, and this is like a sledgehammer. It does a lot of gloriousness to the overheads. So this is with it, and then without it, and with it. Yeah, I'm not entirely. There's got to be some compression going on with that, but I'm not entirely sure what all it's doing. Makes them sound good.
Yeah, it makes them pop a little.
Yep. And then together. Okay, so one thing that I'm doing that I didn't talk about is I've got sends. I do parallel compression. So if we choose the drum bus and we go to the sends, yeah, I've got a VC76, which has this preset that is called Crushed Drum Room, and it's marvelous. It brings the cymbals out like crazy, and doesn't do much to the drums somehow. Not entirely sure, but so that's without it, and that's adding. I've got a lot of reverb on that too. Here, I'll turn all that off so we don't have to mess with. All right, so this is just raw with the plugins that I've talked about. And then if we let's just loop that. No, let's loop this. There we go. If we turn on the sends to the 76, that's off. That's on. It does increase a lot of volume, so it's kind of cheating, but I really like what it does. And then we've got Virtual Mix Rack. It's the Distressor emulator that is magic as well. It's a very unique compressor. I really haven't looked into what it does exactly, but it's got a preset called Drum Bus Parallel Nuke, and it does the exact opposite of the 76. It brings out the drums and like makes the attack of the drums a lot more present. So without it. And then with it. And without it. And with it.
Essentially, what you're doing is you're increasing the volume of like the first part of that hit. So instead of it going boo, boo, you're going boo, boo.
Oh, right. That makes perfect sense. That's probably exactly what it's doing.
I'm sure what it's also doing is finding the fundamental frequency and actually doing it to that, because the punch of something is generally around like 1 kilohertz, I think.
Agreed.
There's a snare.
Yep. And that is those are my drums as they are there. And then the reverb that I'm using, and I'm putting reverb on the snare, all 3 toms, and the overheads. I don't do it to the kick because it adds just a little bit of too much slushiness. But these ones are pretty thick with reverb. Well, don't you dare look now, I think he's getting closer. Okay, so that is actually more. I listen to this. It's a little bit too much reverb, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn down all of the reverbs because I want it to punch a little more, and reverb tends to mush things up a little bit. Okay, I'm good with that mix for now. I'll probably tweak it more and more. The way I attack mixing is I generally just listen to it and see if I can hear things that bug me and that need to be fixed. And if I don't hear that, then I move on to the next. And I cycle through instruments like guitar and bass and drums and vocals and keep cycling until it gets to form an image that I am excited about. And then I start mastering. And so right now I'm at the point in my drums where I'm okay with this mix. I'm pretty sure that there are going to be things that I want to change later on, but I want to fix the timing errors right now. And instead of just going through and fixing obvious errors, I just quantize the whole thing. It is a total cop-out, and it does its job well enough. And luckily, I can go through and take off quantizing that has screwed something up that I liked the flavor of. So instead of going and correcting, I correct everything and then uncorrect stuff that I think is too much. And with Studio One, it's amazing. You first I choose drums. It's got a drum preset for elastic audio, and then I want to quantize it to 1/8 because I don't do much. There's some rolls that I do 1/16, but I don't want to quantize those. I just want to quantize the main beat. And if I listen to it and quickly realize that I should have done it at 16, then I erase all the quantization, change it to 16, and do it again. But I think 1/8 is okay for now. And I only quantize it to the kick and the snare. And then the rest of the 7 tracks of the drums follow the quantization that happens in the kick and the snare. They're like guides. And so I do that. I click analyze, and it goes through and analyzes the kick and finds all of the transients. And it does a really good job. Usually with the kick, it gets some of the snare hits that bleed through as transients as well. So I turn this way down, this 80. I usually go down to like 50 or below. So it only gets the really obvious kick hits. And then the snare, I do it all because I want every snare hit to be quantized. And it did. See over here, it got all of the rolls. And yeah, that one is good. See, there's some 16th notes there. Ugh, you know what? I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna do it to 16th instead of 8th right now. Somebody's mic is on and they're moving all around. If you could mute yourself, that would be great. Oh, I'm sorry, Peach. I'm sorry. All right, and so that's it. So these 2 are the ones that I quantize to. I trust the most. And then I group all of the drums, choose all of the drum tracks. So all the drum tracks are selected. Then I go up here and choose the guides that I want. And I've already chosen them because of this template. But normally all of these represent all of my tracks, all of my drum tracks in the group. And I only want kick and snare. And so I select that and I click apply, and then it applies all the quantization, staying phase coherent throughout all of the drum tracks. And we're done. So what used to take me literally 3 or 4 hours going through hit by hit and quantizing before this technology was available, and reduced that 3 hours down to about 2.5 minutes. I give it one listen through with a click, make sure that it hasn't done anything wonky. It usually does. It usually screws some of the stuff up, but then I undo it and. The redder it is, the more to the left it is been corrected. The greener it is, the more to the right it has been corrected. If you get one that's gray, there was no correction, and I very, very rarely get gray hits. So that's how good I am. Ah, there was a gray one. Where was it? Ah, right there. See that kick? That's gray. Right there. Boom! I'm a winner. There's another one. There's another one. Yay! Okay, so one thing I'm noticing right now is the kick is a little bit lackluster. There's not a whole lot of click, and this is a pretty heavy hard rock song. So I want that click to be heard, and I'm gonna do something about that. So I just choose a loop. And then let's, while I'm doing that, I'm going to just up the EQ using my parametric. And there we go. Whoa, something happened there. What happened? This is really bright green, so I feel like it. I want that roll to seem natural, even though it's a little bit off. And then it takes all, make sure that all the tracks are back to the way they were when I originally played it. No, bad Studio One. So all of this like ultra green has been incorrectly, and that's because.
Is this how you get things in time?
Yes, exactly. So I'm moving like if I do this, it's going to.
It's like warping.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like warping on an individual track basis, and while maintaining phase coherency across the tracks, which is. It's not unique, but it's rare to find a DAW that can do this without severely modifying the sound characteristics. So, and this stays pretty transparent. Sometimes if you really start dragging stuff dramatically, it'll obviously change the character. But these are going to sound just the same. All of those clicks are just my system catching up because it's caching all of the new audio files that all of this warping has created. So right here, yeah, this interlude, I was supposed to not play drums at all. And as soon as I went into it, I was like, "Crap!" And so I kept it light. And I don't know if I'll change it or not. I might keep it. This doesn't sound bad. Not sure about those triplets. Nope.
Could you play it on that bit again when the toms come in?
Sure. The interlude right here. There's clicking and static all over right now. I don't know if that's what you're needing to hear, but this is the toms. And now we're into verse 2. Thank you. So this, I don't know if you can see it, but there's this little spinning wheel. That is my system trying to cache everything while I'm playing it at the same time. And as soon as that stops and it's finished, the clicking will stop. Not bad. Well, actually, let's get rid of this one. Yeah, those are more true triplets. Maybe right here. See how it sounds. Every time I make a change, it's got to recache everything. So my system is just being brutalized right now. No, that was late. Yeah, that was a little too late.
What are you doing?
Editing drums. mistake right there. That's when, right, that was brought up here because the system for some reason thought it was a better idea to move it up instead of back where it should be. And that's why it's important not to trust.
So closer to the one behind, right?
The original, yes, yeah. So the original of it was right here. So it should have gone behind. For some reason, it went all the way up here. And I don't know. I don't know why it does that. But
I know why it would do that.
no, I don't either. It has to do with artificial intelligence, I would guess. And I have no idea if AI is built into this program or not. But from a programmatic standpoint, I mean, it should be fairly simple to tell the computer, you know, if this line is closer, or just basically move it to the closest tick based on whatever you're quantizing to. And in this case, it obviously didn't. And computers don't make mistakes. They just don't. They do exactly what they're told. And so my only explanation is there's some fuzzy logic in there that where it says, you know what, do what you think is best, which is cool and terrifying. It's like we're giving morality to computers. Oh, I love this part so much. I love this part so much. Because it's marrying my acoustic drums to the taiko drums, to the symphonic percussion, and to the stomps. It's like a percussion extravaganza. Hold on. I've got to give my system a reprieve here. All right. So let's listen to the whole thing. Nope, that was wrong. That should have gone back. Okay, when you start it over, you need to start from the beginning to instantiate the one of the MIDI instruments. Two, three, four.
We will rise above.
Whoop, 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 whoop. There's another one. Moved it forward. I guess forward is preferred because it very rarely makes a mistake by pushing something back. Yeah, that one is a huge, obvious mistake. Yeah, none of this stuff is right. Well, that one might be, but... Come on, buddy. Give it back to me. There you go. Sweet. All right, let's listen to it. So I've heard this every time I've played it, and I thought that I could learn to live with it. This double snare hit is lacking power like crazy. Oh, whoops. There we go. That first snare hit is not as powerful as the second, and for some reason that is really grating. So, because we live in modern day, we can just take that second hit, and move it over the first. What? No. No. There we go. Then there's going to be just as much power. I think. We'll see if that's the case. Yeah, I think that's better. Another moment is burning in my veins. There we go. That's way better. Okay, so I'm hearing just as I go on in the mixing, I am hearing deficiencies in the mix in my drums, like overall. And so one thing I do is to the drum bus, there's a compressor called the FG Red. And I love it. I love what it does. It gives it a subtle pumping motion, which adds impact to rock drums. No, let's do the interlude. No. Right here, pre-chorus. There we go. Won't drive it. It's really subtle harmonic distortion. And then I will add some high end to the whole kit through a Slate Virtual Mix Rack, which I love. I really love this one. And I usually add it. Come on. I've got my system set to back up every 5 minutes, which is a bit excessive, but man, I don't like losing stuff. There's this EQ called FGA that I really like. And okay, now the cymbals are a little too bright. So I'll go to the cymbal mix bus and just turn down the high end. Another moment is burning in my veins. Oh, headed for a break, yeah, it's all or nothing. Oh, why have I got insane? Oh, I Okay, I just noticed that fourth kick in that quad hit right there is totally flat. And that's my left leg is not nearly as competent as my right, but this has just gone too far. So take away that hit and put the other left hit in there. Nice.
Bro, I just realized that my mic was muted this entire time, so
Oh.
when I was speaking, it wasn't coming through.
No, yeah, I haven't heard you. I haven't bothered to look to see how many people are in here or even I've got kind of wrapped up in the editing.
Oh my god.
Did you think I was totally ignoring you? You probably
I think you were
did.
busy,
Oh.
like focused. So I was like, oh my gosh.
So yeah, what comments or I'm not sure if you have any or
Absolutely amazing, man. I really, really like the song. The structuring is incredible, like the arrangement altogether. And man, I really like the guitarist. I think I mentioned that before. I know that's not your main focus here because you're looking at like drums a lot,
right,
but
right.
ooh, dun, 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 dun. Ooh,
And the
that is
chugga.
heavy chugs, yo.
Yeah, right on, right on. I'm gonna redo the verses. The chorus vocals are all done. Guitars are the guitars I think are done, but there's sometimes when they're off. I have not. Well, I guess I did. Wherever there's like little lines through it, that means I've quantized it. But there's some places where I haven't quantized any of the guitars, and I'm not sure. To me, that's like it's a love-hate relationship. I really like that I can quantize it, but I'm really scared that I'm gonna lose some of the humanity, and I don't know.
That's all right. I mean, I think that when you're quantizing it, instead of like quantizing it like on the transient, just on the transient, if you also quantize a little bit before the transient, that's what I
Oh,
did to make things have more chugs. So if you check out if you go into the view where you can do warping.
oh yes, let's see. These are my electric guitars right there. Yeah, this is some chugs right here.
Yeah. So like, yeah, if you have like a transient, I mean, sorry, another warp marker right before the transient.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the markers right before the
That's
transient.
the marker. Yeah. Then you put one before, another one slightly before that one.
How slightly? Like this represents a 16th of a beat. These markers up here, these ticks are 16th of a beat.
Oh, less than that. Like
Okay.
far less than that.
Okay.
Like really small. Yeah, about that much.
Okay. So I don't have these grouped, which is fine. So there's right there, and then what do I do with it?
Yeah, so if you do have these chugs, you can now make that transient like go a little further to the right. Like you can warp it that way. That way, instead of it being like the chugs and the everything is being stretched, it's like you're striking again as opposed to it
Gotcha.
being stretched around and stuff.
So it's
So you're
right
essentially getting
after.
rid of,
You're
yeah,
saying
you're
make the
essentially,
transient come right after the hit to the right?
oh, no, the transient stays in the same place. The like let's say you've plucked something, right? You did a chug,
Yeah.
it goes chug,
Uh-huh.
and then you go chug, 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 chug.
Yep.
But like that one of those will probably last a bit longer, a little more shorter. You, instead of like stretching the entire chug,
Uh-huh.
you just um play around with that small area there.
Right after or
That
right
way,
before?
bit right before.
Okay.
So basically, you're looking at now at the moment you're just editing the previous one, right?
No, this is the chug that I'd be oh, okay, the previous.
So yeah,
Okay.
so that one, yeah. So you have this chug. You can make it like
So I can drag
you
this
could
out and make it really long or not long at all. This would make the chug like
I tell you what. Can you go to a part where you haven't done the thing, or maybe
oh
like
sure.
remove the thing from here?
There's tons. So let's see here. We've got these chugs are oh those aren't chugs, but these are right here.
Yeah, let's work on that.
Okay. Bless you.
Thank you.
So do you want me just to quantize it?
Oh yeah, just put the markers down.
Okay. Let's just do this part. This section so I can wrap my head around what you're talking about. We analyze them, and we don't want drums, we want sound, so let's remove that and reanalyze it to
Like don't
sound.
warp them, just have the markers.
Yep,
fixed
those are,
up.
yep, these, there we go. There's the markers.
So if you zoom in,
Let's go to the first real chug right here.
yeah. So that is a little bit late, right?
It is. It is a little bit late.
So if you move this back, right, to that timing, the previous one will be shortened, right?
The previous one won't move.
So like move. You see that sample behind it is being shortened,
Okay.
like the chunk before that. is being
Before.
shortened, you know what I mean?
Okay, yes. It's you were saying
It's being
behind.
shortened because yeah, like that one over there is being made smaller.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, but if you place another marker, like a little bit before that chug that you are looking at now,
Okay.
so place the marker
Right here?
a little bit. No, wait. Before the beat, a little bit before
Before.
the beat.
Okay.
Here we go. Yeah, around here, I guess.
All right.
It's an exaggeration for now.
Sure.
Now, if you warp it,
Yeah.
only that one will move.
Agreed.
The rest won't be stretched.
Gotcha. I just understood what you were talking about. Yes. Yes. I
My bad,
see
I'm
that.
explaining that.
No. That's it. This is an interesting method of communication, especially when I can't see you and you can't point in on my screen, so it's completely verbal. So we go like that
If you
and
move
put
that
that.
one, the one on the bottom, without doing that, you'll see that the sample is being shortened, right?
Yes.
There
Yes.
you go.
Yes. So yeah, these are two identical performances. So this
Yeah.
is the same electric guitar being plugged into two channels. And so yeah, without doing it, you can see right here that that's the beginning of one section, and this is the same beginning. So this one has not been stretched or compressed. This one has been compressed due to the quantization of this. Right?
Yeah. And therefore, like you're more focusing on when you hit your next note as opposed to how long the note was and so on.
Agreed.
Therefore, you're keeping the humanity of it. because
Totally agree. Totally
it's like
agree.
drums.
Yes, I'm clicking with what you're saying, and this will work. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I would have to go in and like add markers right here for everyone.
It's a little long, isn't it?
It could be, especially considering that to quantize this right here, all I would have to do is push one button. Well, you got to select them. and then do apply, and then boom, it's done, like all of them.
Yeah.
But the previous sample or the previous note is affected by the note after,
And you know
and
what?
so
There's
on and so
another
forth.
little benefit to doing it this way is that like there's a little bit of that sample that is either stretched or like that sounds a little bit different,
Uh-huh.
like just like a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And what that will do is basically like make the chug a lot more like like different from that small bit before,
Interesting. Are you talking about the differences in these two tracks or the difference between the two notes?
the difference between the two notes.
Gotcha. Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
like you press the chug, then you have like a little weird thing going on with the timing,
Uh-huh.
and then so when the chug hits again, it has a more impact because it's going into different timing.
I hear
Going
you.
into the normal timing instead.
Gotcha. Where do you learn all this?
I experiment a lot on Ableton.
Gotcha. That's cool.
And I played guitar for like a while, and I did a lot of recordings with this stuff.
Really? I didn't know you were a
Yeah.
guitarist. Do you have music?
Yeah.
Do you have music up? Wait. Okay, so when I hear the acoustic guitar and your voice, that's you actually playing the acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Ah.
Man, I used to be in a thrash metal band.
You're kidding me.
Hell no. Come on, why do you think I have my hair so long, bro?
I've never seen you.
That's me in my profile picture.
Where are? Oh, gotcha. I see. It's just so small. It's so tiny.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true. Right on. Okay. I do you have like music published? I don't think I've heard any of your music.
I don't have any thrash metal published, but I do have like 3 hip hop kind of things.
Interesting. Very, very cool. Well, I will. Where's your stuff? Here, hold on. Let me go. I have not. I just realized I'm broadcasting on YouTube, and I have not.
Checking.
I have not paid any attention to my YouTube at all. And Veach,
Don't
you're
worry, I
on
did that for you.
YouTube. Look at that. You are amazing, Veach. You're taking care of business. You are taking care of business. That's awesome. So, holy cow, we've got Nancy. Nancy Sotolo. ¿Cómo le va? Es bueno verte, como siempre. Nancy Sotolo está aquí. No hablo lo que estás hablando ahora. What are you speaking?
I'm speaking English.
No, but before that.
Oh, I think it was Portuguese.
Portuguese.
I think I meant stinky fish. That's what I meant.
No, I speak. I was in Colombia for 2 years and speak Spanish, and I've got a lot of Spanish fans. So, I have been totally neglecting YouTube. Mother Nature, Mama Goonie, how are you? Welcome.
They like seeing you focused, man.
Yeah. Oh, John Young, he's my homie. He is amazing.
Oh, Ronnie's trolling you.
Right? She does that all the time, like nonstop. She's like my aunt or my sister who gives me nothing but grief, but I love her like a sister. Yeah, there's another guy comes. He's from Argentina. Nancy Sotolo is from Chile. Yes. Who else do we have here? Yep. From South America. It's going through a lot of like revolution in Chile right now. It's no good. No good at all. And I am his manager. Yes, Ronnie G is my manager.
I'll check it out later.
Yes. John Young asks, who is participating in your production this evening? The guy in the chat, Veach Magic. It's a guy on Discord. And I've been hanging out in a, yep. Been hanging out in, I believe, is this your server that we're hanging out in, Veach? Yes, it's called Music and Audio, and there are a lot of fantastic human beings that hang out in this Discord server, and it's a little bit
surprisingly fast.
Say that again.
We're growing surprisingly fast.
Oh, you are. You're growing like crazy. Well, it's due to the drama that happened. But you snatched that, my friend. That is, and you're a good human being. So I have no problem. I have no problem pushing you and marketing you and giving you props because you deserve it.
Oh, cheers, bro.
It's the truth. So yeah. He's in the chat, John, on in YouTube. So yeah, I encourage you to get to know each other and see.
What have you been doing now?
I'm editing drums. I'm editing this song.
You're editing drums piece by piece?
Live, baby. Look at this. Look at this. We're done. You want to hear the song behind it? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm noticing little things now, like that. This.
You're quantizing everything?
I've quantized everything. Yes, I do. I use what is it called in Studio One? It's Bend. What is it? Audio Bend. And it's fantastic, and it's fantastic because I don't have to move everything super far. If I was a horrible drummer, then I probably couldn't use it. But because I'm fairly close, I prefer it, especially when I'm marrying it to fake drums in the bridge. It's really important that there's not any anomalies in the timing. So we've got these acoustic drums and then these stomps and these synthetic drums down here. Okay, I don't like the feel of this roll. I really don't, and I think it's because it's quantized. So we're.
Like how you can organize everything, like from chorus to verse and stuff like that.
Thanks, man. So this, see where I was pretty on time. I was a little bit before the beat, but for drums, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it being just before, and let's see if that. Yeah, I like it running a little bit early there. And I've with this drum intro, I think Veach, I'd like to hear your opinion, but I think that the drum or the guitars need to do something for this, like the intro back into the chorus.
Okay.
That right here. See, it just, I'm not sure if the drums feel naked there, and if that's a good thing, or if we could like do a crazy pick slide on the guitars to fill that out. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, should we try it? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm set up for bass.
Once you're done, I was wondering if you could explain your technique for the melodic layering on your songs.
Vocals or guitars or what?
The vocals, yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can. Let me do this with the guitar, and then I'll answer your questions there. So we want this to be like crazy. Turn on, do 4 at a time. You think it might?
Yeah.
It might.
It's conventional. I think you could probably get like a chord. Okay, so what you could do is like you could have a chord. So if you like turn down the volume of your guitar and you like turn it to a violin kind of thing, so you have like a
a strum with 0 volume,
Okay.
and then you turn the volume
Oh,
up.
so it's a swell. So
Yeah,
it's a
it's a swell.
swell. Gotcha. All
That's
right.
it.
Interesting. So what is that chord is the question.
I think it's yeah.
We were just discussing that. I think it's E major.
E major.
Yeah, let's try that. I like where your head is, man.
You
Yeah.
could do the swell with automation, and you with your hand.
Yeah.
You actually do it like a tremolo.
Oh,
So
yeah, whoa. Yeah, let's see. I don't even know where. Let's do treble.
Lanny bars. You could do a pitch tremolo. So like wow. No, would that be? Like there's so many things. You can do one thing which is like wow. And then you go from swelling into cuts.
Right.
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 We will rise above.
That's probably not.
Rise above.
Better than nothing for sure. Still a little bit too boring. Still a little bit.
Would you rather layer?
I don't know.
When you do that, let's see. Could you play the whole thing again?
We will rise above.
Yeah.
Which instruments do you have in the drop? You have your lows, mids, and highs all full, right?
Oh, everything's going full bore right here. Yeah. Yeah.
You could go lows and mids, and then you go into your lows, mids, and highs.
So like an
Or you
EQ
can-
sweep?
Not an EQ sweep. I mean, like the instruments that are being used, like tones being used. So maybe something to do with the bass.
The
'Cause you have
bass.
mids with your vocals.
Yeah, the bass is doing just a pickup slide. So it's not doing too much right there. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Rise above.
I like an octave up. That's a bass I hear.
Oh yeah.
You're more multi-talented that you're letting on, Beach. All right, I've got to get to know this guy. I think that he's a little too modest. We've got to, you know what? We should have somebody else moderate the collabs, the contests, and have Veach be part of one of the teams. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I would be happy to be a moderator and judge, but I would love to see what you could do with a team of collaborators for 3 hours.
I have done that before.
You have?
Yeah.
Right on.
Too good. So I'm like, why? What's the point in it?
I gotcha. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to get bogged down too much into this right now.
If you just like.
Hey, rock on. Who the heck are you? I can't see.
Hey, Brian.
Jay Brawny, right on. I did drums for you, right? Yeah, right on. I hope those work. I really hope those work.
Jones.
I'm waiting for. I'm gonna record some of the songs tomorrow and throughout like the rest of the week, and then I'm gonna have Studio B and me mix and master the whole project for like a month or two.
Right on, man. Right on.
I'll give you a copy of the album when it's done.
Dude, that would be great. I'll put it on my wall.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
I was thinking that like when the vocals come in, the acapella,
Yeah.
you kind of like get some kind of bass, power chords coming in, like,
Interesting.
something like that, you know.
So right when it drops. Right there. Okay.
We will rise above.
Gotcha. Yes. All right, let's do this. Let's do this for real here.
We will rise above.
How about a click? That would be nice.
We will rise above.
Not sure if that's good or not.
Is your melody that comes on the drop primarily eighth notes or like 16th?
Melody? I don't think there's any.
Rhythm of, like,
I don't think there's any 16th notes anywhere. I think it's all eighths.
or they
We
wanna do
will
the 16th before the drop.
above.
Unless it's a bass, then you want to go quarter and then go into that. So you can have. Dun, 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 dun,
Agreed.
dun, 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 dun.
Agreed. Absolutely. I got to do that better. Totally. Yep.
We will rise above.
And then bass.
Yeah, always bass higher, because you don't want sub frequencies at that point, because when the drop comes, that's when you want the sub frequencies.
Yep.
So you have to put a lip and go up to the 17th fret. No, 19, I think.
I don't even know what that is.
My guitar is so not in with the freaking frets that like if I hit the 5th fret, it'd be the 19th. 19. So basically, what you're doing is 799.
Okay, 799 on
On the A, I mean. It's like a E major. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, you can do that
Yeah, we can do it just right there, can't we?
as long as there's no sub frequencies, you're fine.
Oh, we can get rid of the subs. I've got EQs, baby.
Oh yeah.
Come on, baby. Let's try it.
We will rise above.
Then we'll. That's too high, man. There's no way.
It's
No.
way too high.
Wait. So we got what? So.
How about you make it slide instead of go dum dum dum? There you go.
Is that a bass?
Yeah. You know?
Oh, okay.
essentially do the same thing with the 7 and then a 9, but you slide that 9 up to the 13 and then you back to the 9.
Oh. Let's try that. I like that. It's a little bit more.
We will rise above.
I hit the wrong notes, but
Ooh, dude, that was a really good idea.
then you just
For the
slide
first
all
one,
the
you
way
do-
down.
For the first one, you do the dun 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 dun. Second one, you go.
Oh yeah! Okay, love it, love it, love it. Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
So we go. Yeah. I'm telling you, we should collab. We should write something together. Okay.
We will rise.
No. Okay, so we go. That's just the first one.
We will rise above.
It's hard.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. But the cool thing is I don't need to have it be in time because I can just drag it where it needs to be because I already know what the rhythm is. So. One, two, three. Yeah. Hold on a minute. I love that, dude. That's such a great idea. God bless you, Veach. God bless you.
Nice going.
Woohoo! Right on. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Against all odds, we will rise above. We will rise above.
Let's quantize this. I want to make sure.
Rise above.
Maybe that's a little too.
We will rise above. Rise above.
Okay, so we've got to add a little bit of girth.
We will rise above. We will rise above.
Yeah. Okay, so Jay Bronny had a question about the vocal layering. You still with it?
Yeah, how do you do it to like get like that melodic layering and whatnot?
Well, so part of it has to do with finding the right harmonies. And I don't know how to explain how to do that. It's just something like when I was born and I was, singing in choirs and whatnot that my parents made me sing in when I was a kid, I would hear other parts that were harmonious. It's just something that I have. It's very difficult for me to listen to a song and not be able to pick out harmonies in the background, based on the chord progression. And I don't understand a whole lot of theory behind it, but I just like for this one, for the chorus, I started out with this this melody. I think this is the melody. So woe against all odds, and this is really cut. And I don't worry about perfection. Like you can tell right here that one voice is changing way before the other one is. I'm okay with that because I like the choir effect. I know that when I add the backup vocals or the harmonies, that all of that stuff is going to kind of create its own voice. And if it's perfect, it creates a different voice. And so like with this one, I don't even know which harmonies these are, but I can already pick out that one above that is "Woe against all odds." And I hear that in my head, and maybe that's what this one is. So I put down that one. Yeah. Against all odds. And it fits with the chord progression. So together. And then to fill it out, I'm pretty sure this is a low one. I'm not sure where it would be. Let's see if I can guess. Whoa, 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 against all odds. Something like that. My guess is that one right there. And I was wrong. Against all odds. That's one I couldn't really hear. I remember now that I went to my piano and just played through the previous two harmonies, and there's got to be a third one down there, and that's how I figured that one out.
Okay. Is that the legend?
That you're able that you're willing to leave in the States to really humanize it,
Willing to leave in the what?
That you're willing to leave in little vocal mistakes.
Oh, for sure. They're all over the place. What I don't do, well, actually I do is you can see these green lines. You can see these green lines through it. That's Melodyne. That's all Melodyne. So I am.
So you do
I'm much more lenient of timing. I guess they're mistakes. They're like little humanities all over. It's like I like being able to hear a rock song that wasn't done by a computer, right? There's like today, a lot of the rock is perfect because it's all done with a computer. They might play the electric guitar, but then afterwards, everything is made to be sonically perfect. And I don't connect with that personally as well as I did like Van Halen before any of the correction was done. And it might be that that's just what I was brought up on, and that's what I connect with. I'm not dissing anybody who does that, because there's like Five Finger Death Punch is definitely in the perfect area, and I love their stuff. I mean, they add a ridiculous amount of energy to their mixes and their recordings, and I love it. But I'm not trying to recreate that. I want a little bit of me to shine through all of the production and whatnot. And so I'm much, much more prone to letting the little timing oddities shine through, but not pitch. Pitch, because it turns sour. If you're not really on pitch, at least in the ballpark, then it turns a mix sour, and that's just I'm not interested in creating sour mixes, and I'm not willing to put in the time and effort to get my vocals where they need to be. Like you need to seriously train and train and train and train to get it so your pitch is close enough that you don't need melodyne. But I've obviously melodyned everything. But like this right here, I guess if you look at that, so the actual line inside the block is where my voice actually is, and right here it is pretty sharp. Yeah, it's pretty sharp right there, and it goes back down into the pocket, and I'm okay with that. I really go by my ear when I'm melodyning. Like this right here, it flat out goes out. It pops out. So right here, it pops out too. So as far as being perfect, so very, very not perfect, but perfect enough so that it doesn't sound like an overt mistake. Yeah?
I find myself criticizing myself whenever like I sing or anything, or at least when I try.
Yeah.
But with the way that you just explained it right now, I pretty much am able to keep everything on key. Like I may have little mistakes here and there, but I'm pretty sure if I was to put it through like waves, tune, or melodyne, and I was singing, I wouldn't have to do much in order to have everything correctly on pitch.
Right on, man. Right on.
I'm kind of glad about that.
Yeah, one of the hardest things to do, and I've been drumming since I was 14 years old, which would put it 1989. I've been drumming since 1989. I have very much confidence behind a kit, but I've never been a lead singer until I started YouTubing in 2017. Like never. I've never fronted anything. And I had a come to Jesus moment, if you will, when I sang my first song for YouTube. And I was like, this is so much more vulnerable than guitar, than drums, than bass, than production, than anything. I mean, those are my vocal cords. That is as much me as I can possibly put into music. And it terrified me. It was not easy, but I just muscled through it. And I was like, you know what? I hate the way that sounds, but I don't care. I'm going to put it out there, and I got a lot of positive feedback. I got a lot of there's going to be haters out there, but they're far and few between. And that gave me courage, and I did it again the next week. I did it. I fronted another song, and then another, and I've done it 141 times now. I'm working on my 141st song, but vocals. Man, that is the hardest thing to come to grips with the way your voice influences a song. And if you can sing, like what you just said, am I talking to Jay Brownie? Yeah, if you're able to overcome that, if you're able to just like overcome the initial cringe of what your voice is doing to a mix, put it out there and see what other people think. And it's like, if you can not be overly critical, like I need this to sound like perfect, then I don't know, beautiful things can come of it. I'm not super like on stage. You would see a ghost before you if somebody asked me to go on stage and sing in front of an audience. I am terrified to do that. I've played on stage probably hundreds of times behind a drum kit with really good, with professional musicians. And I'm totally fine. But man, singing in front of like thousands of people, it's my voice. Oh, kill me. So I guess I'm saying just screaming. No, I can't. It's harder for me to scream on key than it is sing. I just couldn't do it.
Man, like I just scream a lot in my band, and I didn't know how to do it right at the time. So I've kind of like damaged my vocal cords just about a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man.
I mean, I can still sing. Like, I can still use my, I can still do my stuff. But there's like a slight thing in my voice which just feels different. Like,
Gotcha.
ever since.
So there was some. Say that again. Sorry.
It took me about 4 years to come to grips with my voice. I had to let it mature. I'm only 15 now. I had to let it mature over time in order for me to finally accept, like, maybe this could sound good on a song.
No. Has nothing to do with time, my friend. Nothing. Oh, you just Vienna Boys Choir. They haven't even hit puberty yet. There's like hundreds of boys singing it. If you haven't heard them, search Vienna Boys Choir. They are phenomenal, and they haven't even hit puberty yet. So the whole it has nothing to do that I mean I'm gonna call you out here. I think that's a cop out. I think that's like your fear talking instead. I might be wrong. But
I think you're right.
well that takes a man. That is really cool that you admit that, because man, the way the moment, I might get a little emotional here, but the moment that I grew the most is when I accepted that I was scared to do something and had the courage to do it despite the fear, right? To push through. That is the vein that runs through almost every one of the songs I've ever written. I mean, the first album that I wrote was called Overcome. It came from a place of giving the finger to fear. Fear holds people back more, I think, than anything. Any type of abuse. I think that just the fear that is inherent in every human being that is born on earth, like, what are people going to think if I do this? That kind of fear holds people back. And I just decided in my own life, not too long ago, I'm 45 years old, not too long ago, I decided, screw you, fear, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to get good at it, and I'm going to keep doing it until I excel, until I can do this with confidence. And I'm still on that journey. And it's not a pleasant journey, but man, it is empowering. It is so cool when you do this, and like people like you are just like, oh my gosh, those vocals sound amazing. And inside I'm like, yeah, 3 years ago I wouldn't be caught dead doing this live. Not anyway. So
I mean, it's very inspiring.
rock on, man. Grab that. Give fear the finger. Give fear. That's going to be one of the names of my album, is Give Fear the Finger. Because honestly, give fear the finger. I don't know. I feel really, really, really passionately about that, because fear. If imagine what your life would be like if you didn't give fear the reins, but rather, like, to me, if you didn't give fear the reins, like the reins of your driving along, like, or the wheel, like a better, more contemporary analogy. If you didn't give fear the wheel of your life, like a lot of the decisions we make are based off of fear, right? If just imagine what your life would be like if you pushed fear to the side and just said, you know what, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do this anyway, regardless of what reaction it is, and it's going to suck. And I'm going to hate it, but over time, if I do it enough, courage can become a skill. And that skill, I talked to a friend of mine who is a general practitioner doctor. Just like he's got a group of families, probably, I don't know how many clients, but he told me something that was pretty profound. He says the human body gets better at whatever it does repeatedly. Like, think of all the choices that you make based off of fear. And not you, but just in general. And don't get hard on yourself. Just be honest with yourself. How many choices do I make every day because I'm scared of whatever, or I fear whatever? You're doing that. If you're like me, I would do that multiple times every day. So inside, my body and my mind got really, really good at choosing fear and letting fear take the road. And the exact opposite is true. If you make choices pushing fear aside and taking courage, then you get better and better and better at doing that, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. And if that choice involves a musical instrument like drums or guitar, I started taking guitar lessons seriously in January of this year. I knew how to play it just by noodling around and messing around, mostly power chords, but I just said I'm going to practice an hour a day no matter what. If it's midnight and I haven't practiced, I'm going to grab that guitar and I'm going to practice, being absolutely tired or whatnot. And I've done it every day for 6 months now, and I am way better than I was in January. And so yeah, I don't know. I really feel passionately about just giving fear the finger and doing it anyway.
I think subconsciously I've done that with like producing and writing the most, because
Right on.
I started my album in December, not knowing a damn thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's evolved to now to where I really do feel confident about, yeah, this song is good. This song has meaning behind it.
That's
This song has
awesome.
a lot of, and same with producing too. I was never good at any DAW before March, really. Like I would fiddle around when I was like 12, 13, just curious as to how my dad and my uncle does it, right? But then over the time of from like March to now, I've learned so much. Like
Yeah.
I really do consider myself a good producer.
Right on, man. Right on. Right on, right on, right on, right on.
I can't give the total credit to myself though. Like there's people like Vic who has helped me out and really
Oh yeah. Never think that you've done it all on your own. There's always people around you. Unless you have. If you've done it on all your own, I feel for you because you've reinvented the wheel. Because there's a lot of people around you that know how to do it better and faster and easier, and they'll cut your learning time significantly if you're willing to, take their advice and put it to work in how you want to do it. Yeah, editing and mixing drums was the hardest thing that I've done in production. That's what I started with. And I just swallowed my pride and put my first mix out there, and man, people just were like laughing. But one guy, his name is Greg, in the forum was like, "Yeah, that sucked, but try this." And I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to let my pride get in the way. I listened to his mixes, and they were phenomenal." And so I knew he knew what he was doing. I did it. I took his advice, and I did it, and I re-uploaded it. And he said, "Yeah, that still sucked, but it sucked a little less. Here, try this." And then he did it again. He did it. I mean, literally, the first three or four songs, I never got anything from him. But yeah, that sucked, but not quite as bad. And until now, I mean,
Awesome how much you learn from failing.
amen.
And how failing is basically the only way forward.
Yes, amen.
In 2017, I released my first song ever. And so many people were like trashing me on it. However, there's one guy who was really mentoring me at the time until like now, and he told me basically the same thing. Yeah, that sucked, but you could go ahead and try this to make it better.
Yeah.
And I kept following his guide, and it really brought my confidence up, to the point last year when I decided, F it, I'm just gonna do it.
Good on you, man. Good on you. It's like haters are gonna hate, but you have faith in yourself. You've got one life to live. Got one freaking life to live, and you can spend it being scared of what everybody's gonna think, or never even try, or you can look fear in the face and do it, and know it's gonna suck. But then also know that if you do it again and again and again, it's gonna get better. You're going to inevitably get proficient. And
I'd rather have like failed and never succeeded than never tried in the first place.
exactly. But what does that equate to, Veach? If you never try,
If you never try, you'll.
fail.
I mean, you're not gonna go anywhere.
No.
You're not moving.
It's just like, okay,
If you don't try, then you aren't gonna get anything. You won't even be able to say that you failed. Being able to say that you failed is a lot better than saying you didn't try, because if you're there, like, I'm not gonna say the hospital bed thing, but like if you're there and later on in your life, and
Sure.
you're like, oh, I could have done that. I'd rather say that I tried that and I couldn't do it,
yeah.
or I failed, than say, oh, I should have tried that. That
Yep.
is the worst thing to be able to say.
Yeah, what if? What if is the worst thing. He's like, what if I would have tried? Because in my mind, the only way I fail is by not trying or giving up. That is the only way I ever fail. I mean,
A lot of minds of delusion as well. Like, like along the way, it's like, let's say, for example, with this, I was working on my EP, and I wanted to get it up on Spotify, but then there was all this like stupid justification to why I wasn't really publishing the music and why I wasn't really getting out there. And it was
yeah.
like, oh, I gotta perfect it. Oh, I still gotta work on this. I still gotta do that. And like it's not something that would necessarily get hits or whatever. So I'm just gonna like maybe do something here, or it was like these excuses are my excuses, but everyone has their own.
Amen. Exactly right. Right on. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You're shut down. Ah, I'm so sorry, dude. Yep. Yeah. Right. 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 Yes. Right. Yes. Yeah. That's great, Jay Bronny and Veach. Kudos, brother. Kudos. I mean, honestly, I feel you. That is to have the your life, the carpet of your life just ripped out from under you when you can't do what you previously did to make ends meet. I don't know if you've got bills or anything, but it's terrifying. And yeah, yeah. Right. Right. Didn't have any time to spend it or hobbies because you're always working. Yeah. Well, kudos, man. Yeah. All right. So you're still recovering. Yeah. Yeah. Right? All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. What is the genre, if I might ask? You don't know yet? Right on. Hey. Yeah. Oh, gotcha. So they like go back and forth the rhymes. Nice. Nice. Right on, man. Right on. I can't wait to hear it. I mean, no pressure, but awesome. 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 Yeah. Oh. Yeah, yeah. How much of your day is taken out by the Discord server? Yeah, you're on it all day long. All the oh, really? Uh huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, right on. Music Production Coalition. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you've got some passion, my friend. Um, yeah, you've got. But I mean, look how many people have joined it, and in such a short. You do? Wild. Yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Excellent. Well, I was gonna say, hey, I need to go join that, but nah, I'll stick around here. Don't. Awesome. Dude, it's like almost 8:30. This is crazy. I hoped that I would get the drums done today, and we've done more than drums. We've done yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm ahead of schedule, so we just need to I need to get the main vocals done and then mix and master and then onto the video, onto the music video. You'll notice, I'm not sure if you noticed that I got cameras up while I did my drum through for this song, and the reason is I do the video and the audio at the same time for drums. I don't do it for guitar or vocals or anything else because I'm not good enough. I have to patch it together, but I'm good enough on the drums that I can get it down in one take. And so getting the video and the audio done for the drums is like a burden that is lifted when I get that finished. So yeah, we're getting close with this one. But Veach, thank you so much for your help, and Jay Bronny, thank you for your questions and your interest as well. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, Ronnie G. She doesn't pull any punches. She doesn't pull any punches. She's pretty harsh. When I like her that way, I really do. She is. She is. Oh man, that is fear. Oh man. Oh man. You know what? I do. I have to take my own advice because I'm terrified of I don't think that I'm good enough. And that's with so here's the deal. I'm with a band, and I mean, the largest group that we played to, we got invited to play down in San Diego. A corporation flew us down there to play in front of, I think it was like 3,000 people. And so it wasn't a small group. And I'm just like, that's like, if I were to sing, I guess I'd have to start small. I guess I would have to just go to like a local like coffee shop or something and sing there, because starting where I'm used to being on stage in front of hundreds or thousands of people would it just it's so terrifying. Oh, it gives me cold sweats. Really? You like it? Oh. Really? Yeah. Yeah, that is that I don't understand that. I can't empathize with that because I feel like so differently. So differently. But it takes all kinds, right? It really does. Then you've got a connection. Yeah, you've got a connection. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, I've got to run. Veach, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your help and taking care of this server. For those who are on YouTube, I'm going to give you a link to join Discord if you want. It's a very different platform than YouTube, but I appreciate your willingness to stick around. We got 5 people that are hanging out in YouTube, which is about the same. It's usually between 5 and 12, maybe 13 or 14. But these people haven't disappeared. Yeah, we're just sitting over in Discord chatting and chatting and chatting and chatting. So, um, yes, yeah, yeah, yep, they're here. Awesome. Thank you, Veach. And yep, 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 John. Yeah. There's quite a few that haven't come, but there's they've got other things. But awesome. All right, you guys. I will. I'm gonna pull off. But thank you so much, Veach. You take care. All right. Bye bye. All right, YouTube. I'm off Discord. Holy smokes. You guys really are awesome for sticking around. And unfortunately, I can't start my normal video cam because it's hold on a minute. Let's see if I can. No, it's already, yeah, it's attached to the other program even though it's not. So yeah, Ronnie G, you rock. Thank you. I know I ignored you guys, and if you guys want, I will tell you how to join Discord. The reason I've been doing Discord for quite a while, and um, not quite a while. It's been about a month since I joined the Discord server, and the reason I've kind of kept them separate is because there's some really unsavory people that can join. I mean, it's a public server and it's all voice, so sometimes you've got like 10 people in the room and some of them are just there to cause havoc, and it's a lot easier to cause havoc vocally when they've got a mic and they've got a camera, and it's a lot easier to cause chaos when you've got an equal voice chatting as well as video. So if you're interested, there's the server that Veach has started is a great server. There's really really good people there. In fact, I have yet to be part of any of collabs or discussions where anybody has been like hateful. I tend to keep my YouTube channel family friendly, and there are some people who are just getting into it that swear like sailors, and so I mean, and that's fine. I don't want to be promoting that kind of stuff on my YouTube server. And Veach was wonderful. Veach was wonderful. It's just wonderful. And Jay Bronny and they're just good people over there. But anyway, just trying to think about how to marry the two worlds and seeing what I can do. I also, and this is what I'm going to start researching how to start my own Discord server for Magic Jones fans. And I don't know if that would take a whole chunk of time to figure out how to do it. In fact, I've already got a server. I've got a server, a Discord server. I just don't know how to use it. I don't know how to use it, and I don't know what limitations it has, and I've got to start dedicating time for that. But yeah. John Young says you don't want to pollute your following. Well, no, I'm all, John, I'm all for people, anybody who wants to come and follow and be part is fantastic. I just won't stand toxic people. But to me, there's a difference between toxic people and people who are just getting into it, who don't care about profanity. And I do care about profanity. I do, and so unfortunately, there are people who I can get on with at the music production or the what is it, music and audio Discord server, and I can be part of that where they're swearing and whatnot, and I don't, but I'm not actively promoting it. If I start a Discord server, then it'll be family friendly for sure. For sure. It's just who I am, for better or worse, But I don't judge people who, have just use profanity as part of their language. That's just how they speak. And I don't judge them for it. What I won't tolerate is toxicity. Anybody who is hateful or spiteful or jealous or any of those things that tear down others. They're welcome to do it anywhere else, but not on my server. So we're with you. Profanity can be ignored. Yeah, I'm there, John. I don't. If people swear around me, in somebody else's space, I'm totally fine with that. But in my space, I thrive on positivity and love, and sometimes profanity can offend, and I just rather not take the chance. And so yeah, I mean, I'm welcoming anybody is welcome to come and be part of what I'm doing. There's just a few rules. Like I'd prefer that you don't just use tons of swear words. Like I'll ask them to not do it. And some people, that's just what they do, and they're incredibly intelligent and musical and happy and friendly, and they just swear like sailors. That's hard because it's not, they're not doing it for malicious purposes. That's just the language they use. And I'm kind of torn because I'll never use that language, but I don't want to hold people back from what they're doing because they choose different words than I would that aren't hateful or spiteful or jealous or envious or anything. That they're just happy in their own way. So yeah. Anyway, got nothing but love for you wonderful people, John and Ronnie and anybody else who and a bad example, Rob by Eddie Murphy. Well, yeah, I've watched a couple of movies where they swear a lot, and it's harder for me to enjoy it, but I've enjoyed it. I don't enjoy it as much as I would otherwise. But I was just brought up, and my dad never swore, ever, and I respect that man. I love him, and I don't know. It's easier for me to choose to not swear than it is to incorporate swearing in my life. And the only issue is when somebody swears but is not toxic. I want to welcome them in because there's so much good about them, but the abrasiveness of the language tends to kind of not offend me, but just turn me off. Like if they come and they're happy and they're joyful and they're positive and they just swear like crazy, I can accept it, but it's harder for me to be part of that because I choose not to. But yeah, Veach is right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I can't tolerate. And Veach, you'll notice on your server, if I'm on there and people are just chatting and there's one or two really toxic people, I'll just leave. And it's not that I, don't, I dislike your server or anything. I can't be around that. That stuff is infectious, and I can't be infected by it. The people who just spew hatred and the such. I've got only so many breaths, and if I spend too many breaths around people who are actively trying to bring people down, I don't thrive in that environment whatsoever. But yeah, Veach, you've created a wonderful server. Yeah, John Young, exactly. I love that. You know what? I'll never say that. I like your crap. I'll never say the S word, but I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. I mean, if you swear once in a long while, I'm not a fragile, I'm not like a glass vase who, one swear word is just gonna melt me. But if it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it, but me either, Veach, I'm definitely not disheartened by that. I just choose not to say it. If you say it to me, it is taken as fantastic because, yeah. And I noticed, Veach, that you were censoring yourself, and I appreciate that. I really do. And if one or two slip out, great, that's fine. It really is. It's fine. When I say swear like a sailor, I mean like every other word is the F-bomb and such and such and such. And that stuff, even if the intent is good, it's so abrasive to me that I guess I do get a little offended, but not hurt. It's just like, I don't know. It's like being asked to eat a delicious dish that is totally contrary to your taste. Like pineapple is, or like, okay, for me, it's like sauerkraut. I think sauerkraut is the most disgusting thing on the planet. I do not like sauerkraut whatsoever. In Germany, they eat it all the time. Does that make it wrong or right? Or it's just different. It'd be like somebody coming to me with just a huge bowl of sauerkraut and be like grinning from ear to ear saying, this is the best, this is the best. And inside I am wanting to vomit. It's like, oh man, I don't like this. It's good. I mean, it's not abhorrent, but to me, it's just not. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's just. I'm reading your comment, Veach. I don't deal with toxicity at all. Not even a little bit. It doesn't take much of that to just turn me completely off. My stream is 2 minutes behind. It's true. There is literally, there's probably sometimes up to like 20 or 30 seconds delay with YouTube. But yeah, I've got to get off here, man. It's way past 8:30. I should have been upstairs 10 minutes ago. But yeah, Veach, welcome to my YouTube world. You are more than happy. I stream. I try to stream on this channel once every day and just work on my song, at least an hour. And Discord, I'm still trying to figure that out. I work that into my streaming schedule. And but you are an amazing human being. You really are. Veach is I don't know him. I've never met him, but from what others have said and the little experience that I have had, I'd say Veach is a fairly selfless person, interested in helping and spreading light and knowledge, and I love that. It's not polite, Veach. Yes, exactly. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. This was a strange stream. I'm really, really happy with the drums that we got, and I will probably be doing vocals tomorrow, final vocals. Yeah, we'll go there. Only got 15 minutes of Magic Jones now. What are you talking about? I've been live for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Veach, I love pineapple. I was like, I can't use pineapple because I love pineapple. It's just like the first thing that came to my mind. But then I was like, nah, we got sauerkraut. Yeah, sauerkraut is like, yeah, nastiness. So, yeah. Anyway, nothing but love, y'all. Nothing too many boo-boos on drums. No, the drums were freaking amazing, and you know it. And you know it. I love you all. I appreciate you all, and today was fantastic. Yesterday was fantastic too. I didn't tell anybody, but one of the reasons I was so tired is yesterday was my youngest daughter's baptism. In my faith, we baptize when they are 8 years old, and they choose for themselves, and it's baptism by immersion. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful, overwhelmingly beautiful experience. Without going into too much detail, it was just emotionally amazing. So much so that when I got back, I was just drained. I was drained physically, emotionally. It was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. So having the after effects of that glorious day today, and I'll probably do that as well tomorrow. Just have be riding on that wave of positivity. So anyway, yeah. And with that, I will sign off. Got nothing but love for y'all. Onward and upward, and as always, make it great.